Arthaya pratibodhitam bhagavata narayanena swayam vyasena gratitam purana munina madhye mahabharatam advaita amritavarshinim bhagavatim ashtadashadhyayinim Amba tvam anusandadhami Bhagavad Gita bhavadreshinim Namostute vyasa vishala buddhe pullara vindaya tapatra netra Yena tvaya bharata taila purna prajvalito jnanamaya pradipaha Prapanna parijataya totra vetraikapanaye Jnana mudraya krishnaya gitamrita duhe namaha Sarvo panishado gavo dogdha gopalanandanaha Partho vatsa sudhir bhokta dugdham gitamritam mahat Vasudeva sutam devam kamsa chanuramardanam Devaki paramanandam Krishnam vande jagadgurum Bhishma drona tata jayatrata jala gandhara nilotpala Shalyagrahavati kripena vahani karnena velakula Ashwatthama vikarna gora makara duryodhana vartini Sotirna kalupandavairana nadikaivartaka keshavaha Parasharya vachasaroja mamalam githartha gandhotkatam Nanakyanaka kesaram harikatha sambodhana bodhitam Loke sajjana shatpadaira haraha epiyamana muda Bhuyad bharata pankajam kalimala pradvamsina shreyase Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim Yat kripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam Yam brahma varunendra rudra marutastunvanti divyairstavaihi Vedai sanga padakramopanishadair gayanti yam samagaha Dhyanavastita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino Yasyantam navidusura suragana devaya tasmai namaha Shri Satguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Hari Om, everyone. Good to see you again. I'm now in Norway. Yeah, where the sun never sets. And yeah, good to see you all again. We continue Bhagavad Gita, chapter 11. In the last class, we read verse number 42. Or maybe it was 41. Yeah, we finish in verse 41. Whatever I have presumptuously said from carelessness or love, addressing thee as, no.
Swami G was 40, the last one that we did.
40, okay. Yes, I realize now. Okay, so verse number 40, Arjuna was saying salutations to thee in front and behind, salutations to thee on every side, O all, thou infinite power and prowess pervadest all, wherefore thou art all. Okay, that's what we have seen. Arjuna is in awe. He's so inspired by what he's seeing, and he's terrified, and he suddenly also realized that Lord Krishna is his friend, that actually he realized that his friend is God himself, and all this is kind of shaking Arjuna again. And then in verse 41, Arjuna starts to be very apologetic. I told you, I think before, just imagine that you realize that your best friend is God. Like that guy you are joking with, you are cutting jokes, you're doing stuff, you say things, that guy turns out to be God. And the crazy stuff is that it is true. This is the case, because God is all. It's not. But anyway, Arjuna is now kind of freaking out, and he remembers all the kind of stuff he used to do with Krishna, and he feels very apologistic. And this verse 41 is actually a very special verse, because there is a very famous chant of it is Gauravani and Janavi. They sing, it is about it is He Krishna, He Yadava, He Saketi, Govinda Damodara, Madhaveti. So actually this line is coming from here, from the Bhagavad Gita. And yeah, I remember once Gauravani came to the ashram in the Bahamas, and he was singing this chant. And I asked him, where is it from? He said, he didn't know it was coming from here, from the Bhagavad Gita. So this is the famous line, He Krishna, He Yadava, He Saketi. We are going to see it now. But Adinath, did we study verse 40? We read it? No? Yes, okay. I need somebody to tell me, because from one week to another, I'm a little bit, Okay, so verse number 41. Saketi matva prasadam yaduktam, He Krishna, He Yadava, He Saketi, Ajanata mahimanam tavedam, Maya pramadat pranayena vapi. Saketi matva prasabham yaduktam. So iti in Sanskrit has a couple of meanings. One of them, it is just an end of quotation. When there is a quotation in Sanskrit, it is ending with the word iti. Okay, it's like a closing quotation. And I told you once that in Sanskrit, there is no indirect speech. There is only direct speech. Those of you who know a little bit grammar, in English, for example, I can say, Naama told me that tomorrow there is no class. Okay, she didn't say that tomorrow there is no class. She said tomorrow there is not class. But when I say she said that tomorrow there is no class. So it is indirect speech. I'm talking about the thing she said. I'm not quoting what she was saying. On the other hand, direct speech is that Naama told me, or Naama said, tomorrow there is no class. Now it is a direct speech. I'm quoting what she was saying. Okay. In Sanskrit, there is only that. There is only direct speech. So when I want to say about what somebody said or how somebody said, it is always always a quotation. It is always in a direct speech, and it is ending with iti. It is the closing. So when you say saketi, saketi is sakha iti. Sakha means friend, or friend. Sakha iti, saketi means whenever I said, oh friend, I called you. Imagine that God is in front of you and you say, hey, achi, hey, brother, what's up? You don't do that, right? When somebody is so great, like God is standing in front of you, you talk very respectful. So he said, saketi, I just call you, hey, friend, what's up? And matwa, okay. Matwa means regarding you as such, regarding you as a friend, looking at you as a friend, instead of recognizing your greatness as the Lord, I was saying, hey, my dear friend. Prasabham. Prasabham means presumptuously. Presumptuously. I had this, I thought I know what I'm speaking about when I called you my friend. Yaduktam, which I have said. Okay, I was calling you. How? Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Sakha, Iti. Again, Iti is the end of quotation. So, Hey Krishna. Hey Krishna means, in English we say, oh Krishna. Okay? In Sanskrit it is Hey Krishna. It is, it's called a vocative. It's called vocative speech. Vocative like, Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava. Yadava, so Krishna we know. Krishna is the name. It is his name. Krishna literally means dark. It means black or dark. They say that the screen of Krishna was the color of the rain cloud. Normally when you see paintings of Krishna, they paint Krishna blue, right? But actually it is not blue, because the description is he has the color of the rain cloud. You know, there is one issue with colors, that in ancient scriptures, we hardly find any colors. If you go to the Bible, even when they say red, Adom, in Hebrew, it is not referring directly to the color, and you don't find colors in the Bible. In the Vedas, you hardly find any colors. And the colors are very, very basic when they start to appear. There was a theory that some thousands of years ago, when these scriptures were written, people were colorblind. That the idea of seeing colors is something new, is something that came very late in evolution. There is such a theory, but from what I know, at least this theory was refuted. They could see colors, but the distinction between them was not clearly as it is today. And language is playing a very big role in the idea of colors. You know, in different languages, we divide colors in different ways. For example, in English, there is green, you know, but in Hebrew, we have olive green and this green and that green and this green, different divisions. And when it is there in the language, people have the tendency to recognize them in a different way. So they say, okay, this idea of colors and scriptures is somehow some very interesting topic. So why I'm saying this, because Krishna means dark, and the description, and Krishna always is painted blue, but his description that he has the color of the rain cloud, and rain cloud is never blue, right? It is more like, you would say, gray, some shade of gray. And this was the color of Lord Krishna. And here Arjuna says, Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava. What is Yadava? Krishna was the king in Dwaraka, and his people were called the Yadus. Okay, Yadus. They were the Yadavas. They were the kind of people that Krishna was ruling. And therefore, he, as their king, is called Yadava. Okay, so Yadava means here the king of the Yadus. And He Sakha. Saketi is Sakha iti. Okay, so Sakha means friend. So, oh Krishna, presumptuously, I called you, Hey Krishna, Hey Yadava, Hey Sakha. Well, actually, you are God itself. Ajanata, I didn't know. I was not aware of why. Mahimanam tava idam, of this greatness of yours. Idam means this, tava means yours, and mahimanam. Mahimanam means greatness. I didn't know you are God. I missed that point. I didn't know you are that. Happened to be Ishvara, happened to be God. I was not aware of it. Maya pramadat. Maya pramadat. By my carelessness. Because of my carelessness, pranayena, I was a little bit careless. Why? Because I loved you, out of love. It was not out of disrespect, it was out of love, but I may have said certain things. Okay, it was from carelessness or even from love. I use expressions that are not proper, that are not appropriate when I understand who you are, when I understand that you are God. Whatever I have presumptuously said from carelessness or love, addressing thee as O Krishna, O Yadava, O friend, regarding thee merely as a friend, unknowing of this thy greatness. Okay, and then he said, he is continuing this idea in verse number 42. Yachavaha kritosi vihara shayyasana bhujaneshu ekotavapya chutatat samaksham tatkshamayetva mahama prameyam. And also, yacha means, and also that which avahasartham. Just for the sake of fun, for the sake of playfulness. You know, sometimes when you play with a friend, you use some very intimate expressions, like very friendly closeness. So he says, avahasartam, for the sake of fun, asat kritaha, I have disrespected you. I talk to you in a way which is disrespectful. It happens with friends. It is not supposed to happen with God, right? And also, vihara shayasana bhujaneshu. Vihar means play. Vihar means like pastime. It's something like pastime or play. Hasa means smiling, like laughing, okay? And Ashaya means on the bed, like resting, when lying on bed, or asana. What is asana? Sitting. So either we were sitting or lying on the bed, laughing or playing or doing some crazy stuff, or bhojaneshu. Bhojana means eating, while eating. So you know, when you eat, when you play, when you lay down, when you sit, you're doing some funny stuff with your friends. So I used to call you in different ways. I disrespect you, maybe. I was not aware of it. Ekaha means being alone. Okay, it means one, but it is being alone. Atava api achyuta. Atava means or, api achyuta. Okay, Eka means or being along with you. When I was playing, when I was sporting, when I was lying on bed, when I was sitting or eating, or maybe when we were just alone, we were just the two of us together, I may have said certain things, and therefore, Achyuta. Achyuta is a name of Lord Krishna. Achyuta, Swami Shivananda is going to say, he who is unchanging is called Achyuta. Achyuta is unchangeable, that which is not changing. But here it is a name of Lord Krishna. It says, oh Krishna, Tat Samaksham. Tat Samaksham. Okay. Either we were alone or we were in company, Samaksham, with other people. We may have done all this when only the two of us were there, or even worse, I was talking to you like this in a friendly manner when some other people were around. He says, Tat Kshamaye. Kshama means forgiveness. So Tat Kshamaye, please forgive me for that. You know, I don't know, I don't remember. I may have done some stupid things. I may have said some stupid stuff. Just forgive me. Don't hold it against me. Tvam aham aprameyam. So I ask you, please forgive me. Ho, immeasurable, aprameyam, one who cannot be measured. You are the immeasurable. What is the running translation? In whatever way I may have insulted thee for the sake of fun, while at play, reposing, sitting, or at meals, when alone with thee, O Krishna, or in company, that I implore thee, immeasurable one, to forgive. So Arjuna is asking forgiveness from Krishna. Swami Shivananda says, Arjuna, beholding the cosmic form of Lord Krishna, seeks forgiveness for his past familiar conduct. He says, I have been stupid. I have treated thee with familiarity, not knowing thy greatness. I have taken thee as my friend on account of misconception. I have behaved badly with thee. Thou art the origin of this universe, and yet I have joked with thee. I have taken undue liberties with thee. Kindly forgive me, O Lord. Okay, so Swami Shivananda simply explains that point. Okay, now we continue. Verse number 43. Pitasi lokasya characharasya tvamasya pudyashta gururgariyan natvatsamotya bhyadikakatonyo lokatrayepya pratima prabhava pitasi lokasya characharasya. Pita, see, what is pita? Pita means, it's not pita bread, it is pita means father. The noun in Sanskrit is pitri. But when it comes in a sentence as the nominative, as the subject, it is pita. Mata is mother, pita is father. So pita, asi, you are the father of whom? Lokasya, you are the father of the loka, of the world. Loka is not Spanish loka. In Spanish, loka means crazy. But in Sanskrit, loka means the world. Okay? So you are the father of the entire universe, the father of the world. Who are included in this? Chara, achara, charasya, of the moving and the unmoving. Chara, the root char means to go, to move. And a is the opposite. So chara, achara, that which is moving and that which is unmoving, the animate and the inanimate. Okay, the conscious and the unconscious things. Okay, all that is there in the universe, you are the father. Why? Because you are the cause for everything. Just as the father is the cause for the child, because the seed of the father becomes the child, so also the Lord is the father of this universe. Tvam asya pujyaha. Tvam asya pujya. You are the one who is worthy of puja. You are to be revered, right? You are the one whom we should adore. Okay? Tvam asya pudyascha. And also gurur gariyan. Guru means teacher, right? We know the word guru. What is gariyan? Gariyan means the heaviest. You are the heaviest guru. What is the heaviest? Here he is not talking about weight. Heaviest means the greatest. Okay, it's not like there are very thin gurus when you are very fat. It is like when he says Guru Gariyan, is a very beautiful expression. It's like you are the greatest teacher. Okay, Guru Gariyan. Then he says, Natvat Samaha. There is no other like you. Natvat Samaha. There is nobody who is equal to you. Asti. Asti is the verb. There is no one which is equal to thee. Natvat Samaha Asti. Abhyadikaha. Abhyadikaha kutaha. Abhyadika means somebody who surpasses you, who is greater than you. Kutaha. Kutaha is, what do you say? Like we know this Kutoyama Agnihi in the Katha Upanishad. There is the famous mantra. Natatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyoto bhati Kutoyama Agnihi. So he says the sun does not shine, the moon, the stars, the lightning, they don't light the Kuto ayam agnihi. What is there to speak about the fire? Of course, the fire doesn't shine there. It's like that. So here also is kuttaha anyaha. What is there to speak about somebody other who is greater than you? Nobody is equal to you. What is there to say about somebody who is greater than you? There is no such a thing. You are the greatest. That's the idea. Okay? Not what samaha asti, abhyadikaha kuttaha anyaha. There is nobody else which is greater than you. Loka traye, in all the three worlds. Okay, so sometimes they talk about 7 planes of existence and 14 planes of existence and all this. But very often they talk about the 3 worlds. So there is the Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. These are the names, right? And we know from the Gayatri mantra, Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha is like Bhu is the earth. And then there is the higher region and the intermediate region. That's the idea. These are the 3 levels. And all the creatures belong to these 3 worlds. This is the idea. So in all the 3 worlds, there's nobody that equals you, and of course, there's nobody who surpasses you. Apratima prabhava. There is no any other being of equal power to you. Okay, now this brings about a discussion that needs to be discussed, okay? The idea of the multiplicity of gods in Hinduism. I think most of us, or all of us, are coming from monotheistic traditions. Christianity, Judaism, Islam, sometimes atheistic traditions. There's also the idea of many gods is an idea which is very foreign to our ears. You know, when we hear about Hinduism, we kind of fascinated by Vedanta, talking about oneness, about ultimate reality. And then they come and they start to speak about Indra and Varuna and Hanuman and this god and that god and the Devi and Shiva and everyone. And it is very confusing, and it is also being used a lot, very often by religious people to prove that Hindus are stupid because they believe in many gods. You know, how stupid you have to be in order to believe that there are many gods, and they have, it is very old, basic understanding of reality, which is based of superstition, etc. Right? This is what we are trained to believe. And when we come to the yoga world, I see many people struggle with this idea of what is this all about, the multiplicity of gods. Okay, and then people start to say, no, these are not gods. Actually, these are forces of nature, and these are different aspects and all this. So let's discuss it and try to understand what is the idea of the multiplicity of God. Okay, and I will say it, the disclaimer is that I say it from my understanding. I'm not representing Hinduism or representing anybody else. I just share with you my understanding of this subject, okay? And the point is that the reality which is called God is beyond our understanding. This is the basic teachings of the Vedas. Actually, it is the basic teaching of every tradition and religion that I know. But particularly when we talk about the Vedas, they call it anirvachaniyam. Anirvachaniyam. It is unspeakable. You cannot describe, undescribable. You cannot describe the reality which is called God. It is beyond comprehension. Why? I think we talked about it a number of times, because our mind is limited. Our mind is confined into the limitation of time, space, and causation. Our mind can function only within the reality of time. It cannot comprehend anything outside of time. It cannot comprehend anything which is not in space, and it cannot comprehend anything which is not causal, which is not caused by something else. If I say something has no cause, our mind cannot comprehend it. Now, for God being God, whatever you call God, even if it is just nature for you, if it is just the bare truth, whatever it is, it must transcend these three. It must transcend time, space, and causation, because if it is limited by time, space, and causation, it is not anymore the ultimate truth. It is limited. You understand? Anything which is limited cannot be the ultimate. So the truth to be ultimate must, by definition, transcend time, space, and causation, and therefore it can be comprehended. It cannot be understood. Saying this, everybody say that, right? Every tradition, every spiritual teacher, everybody say the truth, the God is beyond all understanding, and then we go on and try to understand it, you know? We go on and try to say, no, but God is one and is not many, or God is like this and is not that. God doesn't have form, right? So in monotheistic religions, they say God has no form, right? If God has no form, then God is limited, right? Because it doesn't include the form. Is it not? In order to be only formless, it must be excluded from form. Then it is not ultimate anymore. You know, that's why we say it is beyond understanding. It is not something that you can comprehend, you know? And then if you ask a religious person, is God merciful or cruel? Of course, he's very merciful. He's the most merciful. Rahman Rahim, they say in Arabic. He is the most merciful one, right? Do you ask, is God strong or weak? Or is very powerful? Is the most powerful, has all the powers. Is he big or small? Oh, he's the biggest. There's nothing bigger than that. These are all ideas. These are all forms that we give to God. Why? Because our mind cannot do otherwise. We can say as much as we want that God doesn't have any attributes. We will always give God some attributes. Why? Because our mind needs something to hold on to. You see, that's the point. Our mind needs something to hold to. Otherwise, it goes crazy. Otherwise, it is, if you don't give it something to hold, it is supportless. It doesn't know what to do. This is how the mind functions. So in monotheistic religion, they will say, oh, our God is the only God, and your God is not, is just an idea, and it is wrong, and God gave the Torah to Moses in Mount Sinai, and he liked us more than he liked somebody else, and he talked to Moses in the mountain, and later on to the prophets, he talked to them. And what is it if not just another superimposition on that which is beyond everything? You know? And then an atheist also will say, oh, there is no God, there is no any reality beyond what you call the world. There is no, that's just another superimposition. That's just another idea which is imposed on that which is beyond all idea. Why? Because that's the only way our mind knows how to deal with things. The mind tries to seize, to hold into something, and it will hold to one particular idea. If we understand this, if we really understand it, then we should not be offended by any idea about God. You see, when you have one idea about God and you think this is the right, I'm holding the right idea, then you need to exclude everybody else. Everybody else must be wrong, so I can be right. Is it not? In order for me to hold the right idea, all the other ideas must be wrong and must be false. In Hinduism, they come with a different approach. They come with a fresh approach, which I find a little bit more progressive. They say, God is beyond all comprehension. It is not possible to perceive, to comprehend, to understand, even to talk or describe it in any way. It is beyond all that. But my mind needs something to hold to. My mind needs this idea. And therefore, superficially, I'm creating a superimposition. I'm kind of shrinking this idea, which is God, into a size that I can grasp, into something that I can hold to. I know it is not the reality which is God. I know it is not encompassing anything, but I cannot do any more than that. And therefore, knowingly, I'm going to create some idea, I'm going to hold on to it, and later on, I'm going to use that in order to go further and transform the form into the formless, to transcend from the form into the formless. There is a principle in philosophy, nishprapancha adhyaropa pavadhyam nishprapancha prapanchate. And this is the idea. When you want to comprehend the incomprehensible, when you want to grasp something which is beyond all grasping, first you have to create superimposition, adhyarupa. You are limiting it, you are holding it to something limited, and then later on you do what is called in Sanskrit apavada. You are removing these limitations, and then the essence remains. Okay, and this is the idea behind the multiplicity of God. My idea of God is only my idea of God. It is shaped by my own mind and it is limited by my own mind, but it is okay. It is okay. And it is not excluding your idea about God. It is allowing you to have your idea, because ultimately God is not an idea. Ultimately, God is that which transcends my idea and your idea and anybody else's blessed idea, right? And therefore, I'm not offended by your idea. And I can support it. And one day I can look at God as my own divine mother. And the other day I can look at God as Hanuman, the devotion, the manifestation of devotion. And then the next day, God is the greatest yogi, Lord Shiva. And then the next day, maybe God is my own guru, manifesting in my life as my own God. You know, and there is no contradictions, there is no offense. These are all ideas. And as such, they are just a stepping stone. They are just a rung in the ladder that takes me beyond my mind. When I use any such a form, when I take any such a form and use it, ultimately I can drop the ideas, I can drop the impositions, I can drop all these limitations, and then the mind, as my teacher used to say, commits suicide. My own mind commits suicide. It doesn't have anything anymore to hold to, and it gives up. When it gives up, then the undescribable reveals itself, if you want to put it in this way. And this is the idea, and that's why there are many gods in Hinduism. It is not that if you get some special vision, you will be able to see all them, or it is not that the Puranas, the stories about the gods, they are history book. They are not history books. They are not telling you history. They are just cultivating the feeling of devotion in your heart that will help you to hold on to one idea of God or to few ideas of God. And ultimately, that will help you to transcend and go to that which is beyond all idea. Will allow your mind to commit suicide. Will allow your mind to get so quiet that you can go beyond. And then there are no ideas, because the truth or God ultimately is not an idea. Okay? So here we say, there is no other God. How can there be anyone superior to you? Why? Because you are the one. Arjuna is recognizing you are that one which is transcending everything. Thou art the Father of this world, moving and unmoving. Thou art to be adored by this world. Thou, the greatest Guru, for no one there exists who is equal to thee. How then could there be another superior to thee in the three worlds, O being of unequaled power? Okay, Arjuna is recognizing Krishna as that which is beyond everything. Swami Shivananda says, there exists no one who is equal to thee. There cannot be two or more Ishwaras. So Swami Shivananda takes it to the idea that Ishvara is only one. If there were, the world will not get on as it does now. Imagine that there were two Ishwaras, two gods. All the Ishwaras may not be of one mind, as they would all be independent of one another. If there were more than one Ishvara, 2, 3 Ishwaras, they will start quarrel. They will have different ideas. I think we should create one Kashi. I think we should create one Louise, one Yael, one Nassim. And the others say, no, better we have spare, two of each, something like this. And then they will have some quarrel. What one wishes to create, another may wish to destroy. When there does not exist one who is equal to thee, how could there be one superior to thee? Okay, this is what Swami Shivananda says. And Father, he says, Pitasi, you are the Father. He says, this is the Creator. As the Lord is the Creator of this world, He is fit to be adored. He is the greatest Guru, so therefore there is no one who is equal to the Lord. Okay, that's what Swami Shivananda is saying about this verse. And now we go to verse number 44. Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam prasadayetva mahamishamidhyam iteva putrasya sakeva sakyu priya priyaryarhasideva sodhum. Tasmat in Sanskrit means therefore. Okay, that's why, therefore, because of everything we say, pranamya pranidhaya kayam. Kaya, what is kaya? Kaya means body. Okay, kaya in Sanskrit means the body. Pranidhaya, bending. Pranamya in salutations, bending my body. I bend myself, I salute to you in prostration. Okay, prasadaye, I'm asking for forgiveness. Why forgiveness? Remember, Arjuna is worried that he was saying or doing things which are inappropriate before he knew who is Lord, who is Krishna. Okay, he didn't know that his good friend Krishna is God, and he was doing all kinds of things. And now he says, Prasadaye, I'm craving for your forgiveness. Tvam aham isham, I'm asking from you forgiveness. Isham. Isham means Lord, God. Oh Lord, I'm begging your pardon. I'm asking you forgiveness. Isham Idyam. Idyam means adorable. Oh, adorable God. How should you forgive me? Pita iva putrasya. Just like Pita, a father, is forgiving putrasya to his son, right? Imagine that your son is doing something wrong. Are you going to forgive him? Usually a father is very easy to forgive his son for his faults, right? So just as a father forgives his son, and also Saka Iva Sakihu, just as a friend is forgiving his friend, right? When you have a good friend and you make a mistake, the friend is forgiving you. And also Priyaha, Priyayaha, just as a lover is forgiving his or hers beloved, right? These are examples of forgiveness. Arjuna says, just like that, please, Arhasi Tavasud, whom you should forgive me, O Deva, O God, please forgive me. Just as a father forgives his son, just as a friend forgives his friend, and as a lover forgives the beloved, so also please forgive me. You know, we understand Krishna is not angry with Arjuna. He's loving Arjuna so much that he's showing him the divine form, but Arjuna's mind is kind of, oh my God, he's completely freaking out from the revelation who is Krishna. Therefore, I'm reading the running translation. Bowing down, prostrating my body, I crave thy forgiveness, O adorable Lord. As a father forgives his son, a friend his dear friend, a lover his beloved, even so shouldest thou forgive me, O God. Swami Shivananda says, O Lord, take me to thy bosom as a mother does her child. Forgive me for all that I have hitherto spoken or done. Forgive my faults. Please overlook my past mistakes. I have done this through ignorance. Now I have come to thee in submission. I beg your pardon now. Okay, forgiveness is a wonderful thing. It's one of the most difficult things to do, is it not? I think that in order to really forgive somebody, we need to be without an ego, right? Because when we feel hurt, it is the ego that is hurt. And to be able to really forgive someone, you know, we may say, I forgive you. We may behave also in a forgiving way. You know, sometimes we do things that show forgiveness, but really to uproot hurt from our heart is the sign of egoless. You need to really have no ego, no sense of I am a separate being from you in order to have a complete forgiveness. And therefore, the best person to forgive is God, because God has no ego, right? It is like the ultimate forgiving. For us, it is just a practice. We say, I forgive you. We want to forgive. We try. We behave in a righteous way when we forgive someone. But really to uproot the hurt from our own heart when somebody hurt us, this is really a sign of greatness. It is a sign of greatness.
Swamiji?
Yeah.
Quick question on the second line of that prasada ye. Is that prasada ye? Is that from the same root as prasad, like as in oblation?
Yes. Prasad means grace. It means also, in this sense, it is forgiveness. Okay, when we eat prasad after the puja, the prasad is like the grace that we receive from the puja. That's the better translation. Prasad is not blessed food. People translate it as blessed. There is nothing blessed in such a way. It is like the grace that is coming along with it. So the word prasad is prasadaye. I'm asking for your kindness, for your forgiveness. I'm begging your grace, something like this. Yeah. Prasadaye. Okay? Now, verse number 45. Adrishta purvam rishitosmi drishtva bhayena cha pravyatitam manome tadeva me darshaya deva rupam prasida devesha jagannivasa. Yeah. Now, Arjuna has a request from Lord Krishna. And here in the coming new verses, we will see it more in the next class, we have to be very attentive to what exactly taking place. Because if you remember, during the chapter, I told you that the vision of Arjuna keeps changing all the time. It's not that he saw one thing. It was evolving vision. And in the next few verses, we are going to see it is a little messed up here, and we will have to be attentive and see what actually is happening. But the point is right now that Arjuna at this point is inspired, but he's also terrified. Remember, Arjuna is terrified. This vision is a little too much for him. And he's asking Krishna to tone it down a little bit. He says, hey, let's go back a little bit to the point that it was very pleasant. Because if you remember in the beginning of the chapter, the vision that Arjuna saw was very pleasant. He liked it so much. It was so beautiful. And then suddenly or slowly it turned into something terrible that he cannot handle. And now he says, oh, I want to go back a little bit. Just tone it down a little bit so I can enjoy it. This is the idea, and we are going to see it. First he says, Adrishta Purvam. Adrishta Purvam have not been seen before. Adrishta Purvam means you have shown me, I have seen something which nobody has seen before. Okay, Adrishta means unseen, Purvam before, unseen before. Rishitaha, Rishitaha, very delightful. You have shown me this delightful form of you. Asmi drishtva, I have seen, having seen that delightful form of you that nobody has seen before. Bhayena cha pravyatitam manaha me. My mind, manaha me, my mind is also bhayena pravyatitam, is also seized by fear. You have showed me this wonderful form that nobody has seen before, but now my mind is full of fear. Bhayena pravyatitam, it is distressed with fear. Eva me darshaya deva rupam prasida devesha jaganivasa. So he says, show me darshaya. Darshaya means please show me. Eva rupam, that form. Which form? He doesn't say which form, but he says, I want to see the other form, which is nicer, which is easier, which will not cause me this fear. Prasida, again we see the same root, prasad. Prasida, have mercy on me. Okay, have mercy on me. Prasida devesha. Devesha is deva isha. Isha means Lord and deva means God. So, oh Lord of the gods. You can translate it in this way, or God of gods, Lord of the gods. So, oh Lord of the gods, Jagan Nivasa, you are the abode of the universe. What is the meaning, the abode of the universe? The whole universe is manifesting within you. Okay, you are the all in all, you are the supreme Brahman. Please have mercy on me. How? Show me the other form. What is this form that he wants to see? Okay, what is this form? Is it the form that Arjuna usually sees seeing Krishna? Is it another form? Is it some form that he has seen before? Or what form Arjuna wants to see? We don't know at this point, but we do know that he wants to see another form that will not cause him that fear. Okay, he says, because I have seen what nobody else has seen before, this delightful form of you, but also it is filling me with fear. So please tone it down a little bit, because I want to see the other form. I want the fear to go away. That's basically what he says. Swami Shivananda here is taking an interesting lesson about this. He says, for an ordinary man, the cosmic form or vision is overwhelming and terrifying, but for a yogi, it is encouraging, strengthening, and soul elevating. Okay, the same form for an ordinary man can be terrible and fearful, and for a yogi, it will be delightful. Then he says, Arjuna says, the cosmic form was never before seen by me. Show me only that form which thou wearest as my friend. Actually, we are going to see that it is not exactly what Arjuna is. Swami Shivananda is kind of a little bit cutting the corners, because I will explain to you in the next class. Arjuna is not asking to see Krishna as he has seen before, as his own friend, but he is asking to see another form which he has seen at the beginning of the vision. We are going to see it. He is going to ask to see the form of Lord Vishnu. Okay? And then what Krishna is going to show him, we are going to see, because it is not very clear by just reading. If you want, you go ahead and read the next few verses and try to understand what exactly Arjuna asked to see and what Krishna is actually showing him. And then when we get there, we will discuss and we will try to understand what Arjuna is actually seeing. Okay, I find it kind of interesting because there are different forms that involved here. Okay. Anyway, that is for today. We will stop here. And next class, we will continue from here. Next week, on Monday, I'm going to be in a retreat here in Norway, in one fjord. I don't know exactly where. It's supposed to be very beautiful. If you want, I will send you a photo. I think it depends on the internet situation there. So if the internet situation allows, we will have a class as usual on Monday. If not, we will have to postpone the class. I will send you a message about it. Okay, I will let you know a day or two before. I will let you know if we have the class as usual on Monday or not. It depends on the internet situation at that time. Okay. I wanted to mention also that with the kind help of Jono, we have now all the classes in Google Drive, and we are planning to keep adding every class into that folder, and then people can go back and forth and watch anything. You are welcome to share it with your friends if you want, and we put the link to that. I send it to you this week, but also we put it in the group description. If you go to the group description, you will find the link, so you don't have to go up and down. That was the good advice of Noam. So anytime you want to go back, you go to the group description and you will find the link to that folder. Okay, we are trying to make it available and easy, and that's it. So we are going to conclude now, and I will see you all very soon. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityor ma mritam gamaya, Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shri Sadguru Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai. Hari Om.